Hello, everybody. You are watching Out of Order. My name is Anthony Buono.
My name is Ben Mayer.
And today we're going to be discussing the overall state of the race between Biden and Trump. Specifically, we want to talk about the campaign finances and the recent developments that's going on in the polling. So let's start with money. Okay. At the end of March, the Trump campaign ended with $45 million cash on hand. This is about half of what the Biden administration currently has. Biden has $85 million cash on hand. That is a huge differential.
Yeah.
Huge differential. And it's not just, and it's really important to look in at what the campaigns have on hand, not just the PACs and the super PACs, because federal laws guarantee political campaigns specifically bottom dollar rates for broadcasting advertisements.
Okay.
So campaign committees are often used to pay for television time.
They're more efficient.
They're way more efficient. Every dollar that's spent on media from a campaign, not a super PAC, goes like 3 times as far.
Okay.
It's a big deal. Okay?
Interesting.
So I want to give an example into where this money edge between Biden and Trump is actually making a difference on the ground. In the first 3 months of 2024, the Biden campaign has spent $45.2 million on media buys and production. Since January 1st, the Trump campaign has spent $23 million. So that's half of what Biden has spent. But, huge but, only $6 million has been spent after Super Tuesday.
Okay.
So while Biden's stuff is, he's focusing in on Trump v. Biden. Biden is focusing on abortion. He's focusing on economic growth. He's focusing on these issues. So far, most of Trump's ads have been fighting back against his Republican political opponents back in January, February, where they're dealing with Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
Only $6 million have been truly targeted towards the Biden campaign. And that just shows that Trump is getting swamped. Trump's getting drowned in the airwaves right now. Specifically, this is more anecdotal, but specifically in the suburbs of Pennsylvania, which we're going to have to talk about, the suburbs of Pennsylvania are getting pounded with Biden ads. And Trump just has not responded on the air.
Okay.
He just has not responded yet.
Yeah.
And it's because what they're trying to do is just raise as much money as they can right now to eventually be able to fight back against what Biden has spent. And they're trying to build up a bit of a war chest. But right now they're just not there. And they're not even, they're only halfway there. And Biden is just drowning them.
Yeah.
So specifically in March, okay, this is in March. The Biden campaign has spent $30 million in March. In March, Trump has spent $4 million. This is just not going to be competitive.
Not even comparable.
It's not comparable.
No.
It's just totally different.
Yeah.
I do want to give some areas here where Trump is seeing positive developments for his political action committee. The MAGA Incorporated PAC raised $14.4 million in March. This includes $5 million from Trump's former cabinet official, Linda McMahon.
Nope. Linda McMahon,
thank you. And $4.2 million from Robert Bigelow.
You know how I know it's Linda McMahon?
How do you know that?
Because she is the wife of Vince McMahon, who was the CEO of WWE.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
She's giving $5 million to Trump.
Yep.
We have Robert Bigelow giving $4 million to Trump. Right there, that's over half of what MAGA Incorporated raised in March. That's insane.
Yeah.
These two people are just funneling money to them.
Yeah.
And so, again, I just want to go into, what does this mean? Is Trump going to just get swamped in this money race? Does it matter? I think it does when the magnitude of difference is this heavy. When the magnitude is this heavy and you're only seeing advertisements for one candidate, I think that is going to make a difference. And Trump needs to get off his ass and start putting some stuff on the airwaves. Otherwise, I don't think he's going to come close to winning, to be honest.
Well, I think you already believe that. For other reasons.
Yes.
As well.
There are a bunch of other reasons.
But this
why
can't
I don't
hurt
think Trump can
Biden.
win. No, this is only positive developments for him.
Of course.
Only positive developments.
Yeah.
And so, okay, that's the money race. How about the actual race? Is there any movement in the polling? Well, turns out there is. There's a lot of movement going on in the polling. If we look at the Real Clear Politics average, which I have a lot of problems with the way that they aggregate their polls, it's Trump plus 0.2, basically tied race. And I want to dive deep into two specific polls that came out this week recently. We have the Marist College poll, sponsored by NPR, and we have the NBC News poll. These two are really interesting. First, Marist has Biden 51, Trump 48, has Biden overall +3. Okay. NBC has Biden 44, Trump 46, Trump up 2.
Okay.
These are both register voter polls, not likely voters, register voter
It's
polls.
so interesting that there's a difference of 99% of voters chose one of Biden or Trump in the Marist poll, while only 90% in the NBC poll.
Well, sometimes the way polls are worded, they push leaners.
Sure.
And so the NPR poll didn't let you really lean.
Okay.
Said you got to pick. Either you're voting third party or you're voting for Trump Biden or something. Or NBC was like way more of
Don't want to vote for either.
don't want to vote for either.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, what does this mean? Let's go into the NBC poll first. This NBC poll has Trump up 2. Sounds great. But the last NBC poll 3 months ago had Trump up 5. So what this is actually showing in the NBC methodology is a movement towards Biden. And what I really want everyone to understand when you're looking at these polls, not only should you aggregate them, you should look at the trends of each individual polling company, because each individual polling company is going to have their own methodology. And it's very, very important to look at the trends within each polling company and see which way the trends are going there. So we have, like I said, plus 5 to Trump 3 months ago. Now it's +2 Trump. That sounds still fine for Trump, but it gets worse because when we look at the specific voters in this survey who voted in either 2020 or 2022, Biden leads by 9. But if you look at voters who did not vote in either of those elections, Trump is up by 22. So what this is saying here is non-political, non-likely voters vote Trump. Hyper-political, I shouldn't even say hyper-political. It's people who voted once in the last 2 elections.
I think.
Yeah, people who pay attention.
Who pay any amount of attention.
Is Biden
more
plus
likely?
9.
Yep.
If I had to put my money, I would rather be winning the people who vote than the people who don't.
Huh.
Right?
Weird
How that works.
strategy that you're taking there.
I would not really care about people who didn't vote in 2020 and didn't vote in 2022.
Yeah,
I just don't think they're going to vote.
I would be curious to see about them voting in 2016.
Sure.
But it's hard to believe. I mean, I don't know. Like if these people who didn't vote in 2020 or 2022 are big, I can imagine like a Fox News viewer who's like, Trump is already in office. It's not as big. Like the media has all been positive towards Trump rather than super negative against Democrats. So they don't feel as galvanized to get out. And now it's been 4 years of negativity towards Biden and the Democrats. Maybe they're a little bit more fired up.
Maybe.
I can imagine that, but it's still, I do think there is something to the uninvolved, the person who's not paying attention is the one who's more likely to say, I support Trump.
Yeah.
Versus the person who is involved and is certain to vote, which
Right.
we've talked about with other special elections and midterms about how Democrats have been the people to turn out, right, in off-year elections. So it makes sense that more of them would also support Biden.
Yeah. And so in the Marist poll, we saw, oh, wait, you know what? Actually, no, forget that. The Marist poll showed a very, very similar thing. What this is showing is Biden is rebounding. Biden is rebounding in the polls.
Yes.
Something has changed
Yes.
over the last month or two. Something has shifted.
And maybe it's the money.
And maybe it's the money.
ads.
Maybe it's the ads.
Sure.
Maybe the ads did something to get him over the line here.
Yeah, I don't know what else. I mean, I don't know what else it would be. Maybe
Trump being in the fucking courtroom.
in court. Yeah, which I must say, I am having so much fun following that,
It's
dude.
hilarious.
Oh, I love it.
No, it's hilarious.
It is the best thing that's ever been live tweeted, in my opinion. Yeah. Trump being in the courtroom. Also, maybe Republican incompetence in Congress.
That could play a huge role.
Maybe.
There is a lot of incompetence. In that same there's a Monmouth poll released that asked, like, okay, how do you feel about Mike Johnson? How do you feel about the foreign aid bill? They asked the question, how good is blank party at passing bills? Democrats are like 60% of people think they're good at passing bills. 20% of people think Republicans are good at passing bills.
Yeah.
They said, like, despite your ideology, despite how you feel, how good is the party at passing a bill?
Yeah. I must say, I do think that's the results of that poll are going to be pretty distant from people's opinions on president, specifically on Trump.
Totally.
But there could be some spillover.
Right. It's just showing that people are recognizing at least that the Republican incompetency is real.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you for watching this episode of Out of Order.
Crazy that you made it to the end.
If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe on YouTube and check us out on Patreon.
Yep, link is in the description of our YouTube channel, and we're super poor, so we could use any support you can give.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys.